We're going to talk about, as you would see by the description of the title and the thumbnail, we're going to talk about some key defender prospects over the next couple of years for Collingwood. Obviously, we've just lost Reef McInnes, which is a massive L for the Pies. Unfortunately, we're really trying to bank on getting Reef McInnes to fill out that gap in the backline that was left by Nathan Murphy after he had to retire from his ongoing concussion issues. And then we've obviously got Charlie Dean and Billy Frampton, who can at times play their role, but it's not on a consistent basis. And when you look at the premier defensive teams in the league who compete year on year, and then you compare them against what we have right now, compared to maybe our 2023 backline with Murphy in there, I just don't think we're quite there yet. Now, I'm very optimistic that the Pies can go all the way this year, but I still think if we were to do that, we do that by negating the glaring issue in the backline with our shortage there. So you look at GWS, they've got Buckley, they've got Sam Taylor, they've got Harry Himmelberg, they've got Connor Iden, who's like your Isaac Quaynor. You look at Brisbane, watching them against the West Coast Eagles. Harris Andrews is just a freak. They got Jack Payne who can play there. Starcevich, who's going through concussion issues himself. But they've really, those type of teams like Geelong, you got Tom Stewart, you've got, who else do they have in their backline that does a job? I mean, they've just got experienced heads who find a way to show up every season, year in, year out. Who else is doing quite well at the moment? Sydney are kind of all in all sorts at the moment. That's one of their big problems as well. So we're probably on the same boat as the Sydney Swan side, who are looking for someone to team up with the likes of Lewis Melican and or Tom McCartan, but they're really struggling with that right now. Port Adelaide, they've got Leah, they've got Brandon Zerk-Thatcher, but it's just not enough. They tried Finlayson after one game. They already dropped him. So it is an issue that we don't share. It's an issue that we don't have alone right now. It's something that is a big issue for top sides in 2025. The first player I want to talk about, and I thank you all for bringing this man to my attention, because I did go ahead and do a little bit of research myself, and I found, I don't know how I missed it, but Leah just a few days ago announced, or somewhat was leaked, that he wants out of GWS at the end of the year. And naturally, we just mentioned how strong their back six is, it's hard to see how Leah gets in that side without injuries to that back six. He's not replacing Sam Taylor. He's not replacing Buckley, Connor Stone, Harry Himmelberg. So if it keeps going in that fashion where Leah is just starved of AFL opportunity, he's definitely going to consider the market being out of contract, or at least wanting out. So a trade will be formulated either way. He was pick 15 in 2021. He's 6'4", which I was surprised to read on. I didn't think he was that tall. And pair that in with his ability to leap 7 foot in the air. If you guys remember that game against Geelong, that massive game, it was supposed to be his breakout game, really. That's what it looked like. And then I don't really know what happened from there. But this is certainly a player Collingwood needs to prioritize in the offseason. He's stated, or it's been leaked, like I said, that he wants out. Let's just check. Is Leah out of contract? Leah contract. Here we go. Leah, he 2023, which will take place. So he's out of contract at the end of this year. He's 23 years old, not 21, if I just mentioned that already. Drafted in 2021 at pick 15. A really good player. Looking at his stats from last season, I want to see what happened after that Geelong game, because it's just a bit unusual to see such a breakout game with so much potential on show in that game. I was very surprised to see that he wasn't there for much longer. So he played, so 2022, he got 4 games under his belt late in the season. And then in 2024, he played 2023, he missed entirely due to injury, I believe, for the most part. And then he returned to the side in 2024 in round 6, played round 7, played round 11 against Geelong, where he earned 2 coaches' votes. He had 15 touches, 11 intercept possessions, and 6 intercept marks, and 4 contested marks. That was a massive game. But from there, he really didn't find his feet. He didn't. He played against Hawthorn, then Port, then Sydney, then Adelaide, then Carlton, and really didn't make it back into the side after that. And what stuck out to me like a sore thumb was you see him get 6 intercept marks and 4 contested marks in that game against Geelong. In the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games, he had 5 intercept marks and a total of 3 contested marks. So what he did in the Geelong game alone outnumbered what he did in the following games, the following 5 games. And look, is it form? Is the side just far too good for him to be in? Perhaps, but it's a good problem for Collingwood to have, considering he's out of contract this year, and the market isn't far and wide and deep in the pool of key defenders. Is he from? Let's find out. He's actually from Adelaide. His original team was the Central Districts Football Club in the Sandful. So that's another thing we're going to have to wrestle with. Does Leah want to go back home? I'm sure Port Adelaide will be chomping at the bit to get someone like Leah back home. That's going to be a difficult one, just as that springs to mind. Port Adelaide are desperate for more to bolster their defensive stocks. He would be a perfect fit, if I'm being brutally honest. But if he wants to come to the biggest club in the land, come to Collingwood, be under the tutelage of great players, as I always say. Pendlebury's there, Darcy Moore's there, Jeremy Howe. He really does remind me of a Jeremy Howe. Does he spring out to me like a genuine one-on-one defender? Not necessarily, but I'm sure we can work that into his game if need be. He's definitely a player we should be considering at this point in time.